There are several Black History pioneers that inspired me, not to just give credit to one, but each one has a very distinct story. And in learning their stories and their accomplishments, I just grabbed a piece of each, molded it to something that I wanted to be, and here I am now.
Starting with African Americans, it's important to know your history, and it's important to know that African Americans had a contribution to the foundation of this country. And one of the reasons that I chose Carter G. Woodson, because he felt that African American history and contributions were suppressed and not being taught in schools. And when I was coming up and going through schools in the 70s and the 80s, back then we were taught about Africans who were captured in slavery, brought to this country, that were enslaved. We learned a little bit about Frederick Douglass, we learned a little bit about Harriet Tubman, and then Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. We learned about Jim Crow, civil rights, and then it was Martin Luther King, and he died trying to find justice for all people. We didn't learn a lot about the contributions of many African Americans. So I think it's important for African Americans to know the history. There's an old cliche that if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. But if you don't know your history, you're doomed for it to die.
The first mayor of Terrebonne Parish was Mr. Joseph Dupart. He was elected after Reconstruction. We have a photo in the council office. However, we have no information. We have no details on his history, his administration, or what he accomplished during that time. And there are several unsung heroes in Terrebonne Parish that we need to get to know.
I started studying Shirley Chisholm even more so, and it was something about her that made me want to be an example for other women to follow, and to not just stop, to keep going, keep pushing, no matter what your dream is. No one can dampen your dreams but you.
All of these ladies have contributed something to my lifestyle, and they so much have made me the person that I am today.
From days of slavery, you saw the Underground Railroad, people making the difference. You read stories where people became doctors and nurses out of need. African Americans became doctors and nurses and couldn't hone their trade and would go to different countries and then come back here and help their people.
So I think it's very important for us as people of color to remember exactly the struggle that our forefathers have put forward for us.
Also creates an awareness for all people to learn more about our history and our accomplishments.
I think Black history is for us in Terrebonne Parish allow us to, again, look at where we came from, to emphasize, where we're going to, and to give us the opportunity to really look at the things that we can do and we can achieve, no matter who we are or where we come from.
In Terrebonne Parish, everyday history is being made, especially with African Americans. If you look around the house, a lot of Black businesses, there's Black attorneys, there's Black judges, so Black people in the medical field, everywhere. So we just need to stick to our roots, but also keep progressing.
Every day is a Black History Day. And to have others give you an opportunity to recognize that across the board, because every nationality that I've actually seen that actually are immigrants. And of course, the African American community are not really classified as immigrants. And so we have an opportunity, because we don't speak our language, we don't really have particular parades, we don't have the opportunity to actually create a particular culture with a different language. Even though we can sit in restaurants and we speak the same language, we have to understand that, to have that recognized, not just for 1 month, but then every time I wake up in the morning, that is recognized.
It's not always the division of it. Sometimes, being united, coming together, help make the change for Terrebonne Parish, and I think that needs to be known and that needs to be learned, and I think that's the direction that everybody's going now.